Okay guys, got a bit more of a chill one here. I'm going to be talking about Pokemon Champions because we found out a ton of information and I truly think it's going to change the competitive Pokemon landscape, right? So we're going to go through what was shown in the Pokemon Presents. I'm just going to yap about it, my sort of thoughts about it. And yeah, I really truly think this could be like the future of competitive Pokemon as we know it, and it's going to change everything, right? So I don't know how many of you saw the Pokemon Presents. It was a really good Presents, I'd say. A lot of cool stuff was announced for Pokemon Go, TCG, that kind of thing. So if you want my full reaction, I streamed it, or I uploaded my separate reaction to the Legends ZA segment. There was a lot of Legends ZA and new Mega revealed being Dragonite, and I sort of revealed that. But today I want to talk about Champions because this is obviously a Pokemon battling channel and Champions is solely battling. So today we're going to take a look at it and yeah, just sort of go over what it means for the competitive landscape. So let's just get right into it, and I'm just going to pause about it and yeah, right, that's all I'm going to do. So let's see. First off, cinematic is great. And here we go. Now the graphics aren't going to be incredible. It's like, it's a Switch and mobile game, right? So obviously you can't expect anything too great. And yeah, so let's see.
Pokemon Champions. In this title, you can enjoy the battles you know and love from the Pokemon series on your Nintendo Switch or mobile device.
Now what I don't like, okay, first and foremost, this battle timer right here, I don't like that there's this 10-minute timer. Now, I know that's move timer. If you're doing 6v6 battles, they can easily take a long time, right? Move animations included, things like regenerator, like some battles just are very slow in 6v6. So if there is a 10-minute timer on every battle, it's really gonna like encourage that stalling playstyle to have a more, like, the way it works in a timer, at least in Scarlet Violet, is the person with the most HP on their team, if you've got the same amount of Mons alive, wins the battle. So I really hope that that's not the case in Champions, and I hope that the timer is adjustable in competitive, right? Or if the 10-minute timer is just for competitive 3v3, and in different formats like 6v6, more like casual battles, then the timer can be higher or increased. But this is definitely just move timer, I think. Just something to note, right? Because battle timer is a problem.
You can invite your previous Pokemon partners to join the action by linking with Pokemon Home.
So you can transfer Pokemon up through Pokemon Home, which I think transfers the EV spreads too. So you can train up a Pokemon in Scarlet, in BDSP, whatever you want, transfer it into Home, and then put it into Champions. So that saves you having to train it in here, which is what we're about to get into. So if you don't have Pokemon Home, like a membership, or you don't have the previous games, and you think getting these Pokemon that are competitive ready might be hard, you can get them in game. And you can see here, there's a selected list of Pokemon to pick: Gardevoir, Feraligatr, Lucario, Superior, Talonflame, Pikachu, Charizard, Kommo-o, Sneasler, and Hydrapple. So varying in competitive viability. And there's this currency at the top that we're going to touch on very soon.
And new partners to battle alongside you right away from within Pokemon Champions.
So yeah, we're getting onto that portion now, picking up
Pokemon
Mons.
to your team to battle alongside you. It's up to you which Pokemon to choose. Recruit Pokemon you're interested in and form a team.
So there, like, I'm sorry, I did say I was going to be yapping a lot, but you can see it costs, you can trial it out, see if you want the Pokemon on your team for 7 days, and that's free, or you can pay 1,000 VP to get the Pokemon in your team for forever, or at least in your box. You don't necessarily need to use it. But VP is the currency, and it looks like you're going to earn VP by playing Pokemon. By winning the battles, you earn VP that you can then put into upgrading your team, changing EV spreads, getting new Pokemon for the team. That's the whole point in this currency that they've introduced.
And form a team. Then it's finally time for Pokemon.
So here I like that it's very simplified in telling what the spread is, right? In Scarlet Violet you get the graph with the lines going every way. This, it just tells you, and it's also worth noting that in terms of EVs, it's not 252, 252, it's 32, 32, and 2. So there's a total of 66 values, I guess. It doesn't say their EVs specifically, but it's not in terms of 252 effort values. It's these different sort of currency almost in terms of like spreading effort points into your team. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. It does look pretty different. I don't know what the whole 66 is about.
Battles.
but I guess it functions the same because it was like max and then a tiny bit, which is the same as 252, 252, 4, right?
You can enjoy ranked battles that let you face off against trainers from around the world, as well as private battles where you can take on family and friends.
Also, this is pretty cool. Wait, let me go back a moment. Extremely effective. We've got new battle text, which is when it's quad effective, right? So Icy Wind, super effective, but with this being a Dark Dragon, Fairy is 4 times effective against it. And to signify that, it tells you it's extremely effective, which is pretty cool. I mean, it for newer players, they like if you've got 2 super effective moves, one of them's actually quad effective. Like, it helps signify that. I think most people know that if you don't, it's like a pretty cool indicator, right? And also, look at the HP, it's in percent. Like, so now you can say, oh, I did roughly 30%. You don't have to, like, rough estimate it. I think that's actually much better because a lot of the times it's like you can't visualize it with just the HP bar. It's much better having a number to base it off. So I did 30% with that move. I did 50% with that move. So I should click it again as opposed to, like, I don't know, it looked like it did about that much. Like, that's something I struggle with a lot in Scarlet Violet battling on cartridge, and that's why I prefer Showdown. Because well, not necessarily prefer Showdown, but prefer Showdown for battling and seeing how much damage you did, because it tells you the percentage of HP that you did, which is really, really handy. So, yeah, I think that's really cool. And yeah, dropping down to 0 there, as it should.
Matches in single battles and double battles.
Yeah, doubles is in it as well. I do think this is going to replace competitive Pokemon in game.
We'd like to introduce you to a new way to raise Pokemon that lets
and this is really cool. This is really, really cool, guys.
Pokemon Champions offers ways to make raising your Pokemon
so
more
look at this.
flexible
You can just instantly change the... So it's like when you go on Pokemon Showdown, I'll show you. Let's say this person's got a Gardevoir, right? You put in Gardevoir, and you can just play around with the spread. I want more special attack, I want more HP. I don't want HP, I want speed. They've got this accessibility in Pokemon Showdown where you can just instantly change your team and go back into a battle in-game, which I think is so cool. It does cost the VP, which is what I was saying before. You earn the VP through battling, and you can spend it on changing the spreads, getting those competitive ready Pokemon, and you can see it's out of 32, right? You can see it's out of 32 points, and it looks like you have 66 total to spend of stat points, which are just EVs. They are just EVs. They look like they're simplified. So, yeah, I love that. I love how just easy it is. Oh, I want my Gardevoir to be a bit bulkier. Let's take some speed out, put some HP in it. Right, it's that easy, and it's gonna be so good to be like, okay, I'm consistently losing to this Pokemon. Let me adjust my spread, run a few calcs, like see how much HP or Fizz Def I would need to live this hit, and go from there. I just think that's so cool, and it's something that, like in Scarlet Violet, I think you need a fresh start Mochi or like feathers, I think it is, to reduce the EVs. And it's just a bit of a pain. It's really not accessible in terms of like adjusting your spread. I think this is very, very important to competitive Pokemon battling. So I think it's really cool. I also like, I don't know where the IVs are. It hasn't shown anything about IVs. I could be crazy, but it doesn't show. Maybe it's on like a different menu, but it doesn't show if your Pokemon's got perfect IVs. You don't know if your Pokemon's got perfect stats, at least from this screen. I'm hoping, and I'd like to think, that either IVs are completely gone because there's like no mention of them, or that it's accessible on a different screen. But yeah, it's pretty weird, right? Like, IVs have been such a staple of competitive Pokemon. You kind of need them, I feel like, dude.
Pokemon Champions offers ways to make raising your Pokemon more flexible and convenient than ever.
Yeah, a fantastic change. We've needed that for the longest time.
Then train.
And when you change a move, it costs VP as well. So, yeah, it looks like you have all the moves readily available. Like, look how long this scrolling filter is, and it's got, like, Zen Headbutt, along with, like, a bunch of other Psychic-type moves. I imagine you just have every move that the Pokemon can learn readily available, and if you want to learn it, as opposed to using a TM or leveling it up, because I don't think levels are too important in this, it looks like you just remember them and spend the VP.
And train your Pokemon to make the most of them.
And it's the same with nature too. You can see at the bottom, changing the speed stat, changing the nature, changing the ability. That's not even a hidden ability that's costing 400, so that's interesting. But it costs about 700 VP to get a competitive Pokemon ready. I'm not sure how many you get from battling. We don't know that yet. But I imagine it's going to be pretty accessible to where you can win a few battles and completely change your spreads.
Pokemon battling.
So yeah.
Bringing Pokemon battles to everyone. Pokemon Champions.
And that's Champions. So yeah, here you go. Here you see the victory points part. Let me zoom this out a little bit. Victory points can be gained from ranked battles. So you earn them from ranked. You can't just like boost for them in like casual battles with your friend. You do have to play the ranked, but this is what the game is for, right? It encourages this. You'll need VP to recruit and train Pokemon. VP cannot be directly purchased. So keep battling and gaining VP to power up your team even more, right? So it's not pay to win. You can't just like go on the game, drop like £50, buy a bunch of VP and get a competitive ready team. If you want those competitive ready mons, you got to play for it. Now, I'm interested in the home compatibility. Do those EV spreads carry over? Or are we going to need to train them from scratch? Can we train them in Scarlet for free and transfer them up? Because training in-game is much easier. You can, for battle Pokemon, you can use vitamins, which are so readily available due to the item printer. It's going to be really interesting to see how it works, but I can't wait, man. I really see this replacing competitive. I think that when Gen 10 eventually comes out, it's not going to be in-game. Like, you know how VGC tournaments are played on the cartridge? I don't see that happening. I see it happening on this, like on Champions, and I'm really, really excited for it. Same with the mobile release, right? You can just play this on the go wherever. You can take your competitive ready mons from the Switch, put them on your phone, and just battle anywhere, which I just think is so, so cool. And I'm really, really excited to see how this plays out. That's, I think, everything covered from the trailer. It does obviously look like we have the Gen 9 ones. We see Hydrapple there. And I'm just really excited, man. Also, side note, by the way, Shiny Wo-Chien and all the Ruin Quartet available in Terra Raids, but they're doing it like the Zeraora event, where you need to complete 1 million raids worldwide and then get it via mystery gift. So we do get it in Cherishable, which is really cool. And the only Shiny Ruined Quartet Pokemon I care about is Chi-Yu. I think the rest of them aren't really very good. But yeah, overall, Champions, that was a little tangent. Champions, I'm so excited about, man. I really do think it's going to completely change the competitive landscape, and I could not be more ready. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Leave your thoughts down below on Champions. Thank you very much for watching, and peace.